Hi everyone, I'm Amy. I'm a manifestation and relationship mentor, and this channel is all about merging spirituality and psychology so you can manifest a relationship or the relationship that you desire. If you like this content, please consider subscribing to this channel and leaving this video a like so that other people have access to it. But let's get into the topic. So today's topic is, can you change a specific person? And I can tell you, I have tried every technique in the book, and this video is going to be what my personal experience of this has been and what my thoughts and opinions are. You can take it or leave it if you want to, but this is what I did to actually get my person to commit to me, to move in with me. And I want to share this information with you so that you're not wasting your time and that you can actually bring in the relationship that you want. So, can you change a specific person? Yes, but not in the way that you've probably been taught. And what I mean by that is that for years, and if you're like me, you've tried all the techniques, before you jump into another meditation or another subliminal, I want you to consider this as an option. Because when you are affirming for your specific person, and I get asked so many times, what do I need to affirm? What do I need to imagine about them? What do I need to perceive them as? But that's not the way to do this. And also, you're not going to get permanent results, and that person isn't going to change. You might get temporary glimpses of what you want, but it's not going to make the permanent change. And the reason for that is because the only person that ever needs to change is yourself. And I've lost days of my life doing subliminals and affirming and scripting to how I wanted him to be, but it just did not change. And what that brought about is a lot of frustration. I was feeling rejected all of the time. My mental health was suffering, and I just didn't feel like this was ever going to work. And this is because all of my focus and attention was on him. I'd abandoned myself completely. I wasn't paying attention to who I was if I had the treatment I deserved. I wasn't paying attention to who I was showing up as in this relationship. And I was sort of stuck in this cycle of really wanting the changes, but I was just missing how to do that. And I'm going to go through in this video exactly what to do if you want to see permanent, sustainable changes with your partner or with your person, with an ex, whoever it is. The first step is to shine the torch back on to yourself. And I want you to ask yourself all of these things that you want your person to do or how you want them to show up. Maybe, for example, you want commitment from that person. Let's say that. I want you to think about who you would be if you were treated like that, who you would show up as if you were treated like that. If you had the relationship that you want, how would you show up? And I also want you to ask yourself why you even need this person to change. Why aren't they okay how they are? And if they did change, what need is that meeting within you? The only reason we want somebody to change is to meet a subconscious need. And for me, in my experience, I wanted commitment. I so wanted a committed relationship where we were living together. That is what I desired. And I had to really look into, why did I want that? What need is that meeting? If he did this, if he showed up as a committed partner who showed up for me, who treated me exactly how I wanted to be treated, how would that make me feel? Who would I be? And, I wanted to feel good enough. I wanted him to commit to me so that I felt secure, so that I felt happy, so that I felt loved and good enough. And I had to really look at how I could cultivate those feelings within me and meet those needs myself. So what that involved was me looking at what actually does make me feel good enough. And, I thought about, okay, well, I'm a good mom. I'm good at my job. I'm good at being a daughter. All of these things to cultivate that feeling of I am good enough. So instead of affirming for your specific person, affirm for yourself. Tell yourself that you are good enough, because you absolutely are. You are good enough to receive what you want. You are good enough to be treated like a king or queen. You are absolutely good enough. And when you can do this, and when you can really embody that version of you that is good enough, when you can actually show up as somebody that is good enough and act that way. So the next time there is a bump in the road, instead of going to, I'm not good enough, and going into codependent patterns to keep this person there, what would the good enough version of you do? Would the good enough version set a boundary, for example, and say, actually, I'm not available for that sort of behavior anymore? Would the good enough version of you accept less than what you want? And like I say, I spent years saying he's this, he's that, he's the other, he's committed, when he wasn't showing up as a committed person. And I was trying to bang things into place instead of actually looking at myself, thinking, okay, if he was committed to me, who would I be? How would I feel? How would I show up? And when I started to do this and really make the changes, really release that feeling of not being good enough, things fell into place without me even trying, because my self-concept had changed. Who I was being had changed. And that was driving the result that I wanted. I wasn't efforting anymore. I wasn't affirming anymore, because what I wanted was now available to me. When I didn't believe that I was good enough, that reality was not available to me. And I know that, these sort of things are sold as a quick fix, how we can control everybody, but you don't need to, because your self-concept is in control. Who you are being is in control. These manifestations happen automatically when you have the right self-concept. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please leave this video a like, and I will see you in the next video.